want to start off with a couple quotes that are very important to that which we do in education, and we got to understand that people do not come to the table without bringing their world view with them. And so the first quote I want to say is from J. Gresham Machen. He is quoted as saying, "Was today a matter of academic speculation, begins tomorrow to move armies and pull down empires." What seems to be benign in that which is taught will take root in one's life. 20 years later, C.S. Lewis says 10 years later, the student won't even know that he was taught, and that what he was taught will affect his beliefs about God, his beliefs about morality, his beliefs about ethics. And so the teacher has a great deal of power over the student, specifically because the student is too young to understand that which the teacher's doing to him. And maybe the teacher doesn't even understand that they're doing it themselves. But what the teacher does teach will end up affecting these views. And so when one comes at school, teaching that is, from their own worldview, which it's impossible not to, I'm going to make the claim, that is, it is impossible to be unbiased. But because of that, the students, without their defenses up, will inevitably take in that which they are taught, and they will apply it to their lives, they will apply it to their politics and further decisions into the future. Now, I just said that some teachers don't really know what they're doing. And I would probably argue that most teachers are probably relatively innocent in this regard. But there are those who are very missionary in their approach to school and very evangelical about that which they teach. And in this regard, I'm not necessarily speaking about Christians, because I just used two Christian terms, evangelism and missionary. I'm talking about secularism or humanism. This has been around for a while, and it has been the intent of the secularists, the secular humanists that is, to bring their doctrines into the classrooms because they know that they will affect culture by teaching the students from a young age. And so Charles Francis Potter says this: "Education is thus a most powerful ally of humanism. What can the theistic Sunday schools, meeting for an hour once a week and teaching only a fraction of the children, do to stern, or I should say stem the tide of a 5-day program of humanistic teaching?" Ultimately, Francis Potter is saying we've got your children and we're going to teach them to believe that which we believe. The next generation will believe more of what we believe than you do. And then it will progress from there. And we can actually see a change in society from the introduction of secular humanism into the schools and the ridding of schools from prayer and Bible readings. So I am going to make the claim that that Charles Francis Potter is correct, that Machen is correct, that ideas have power and they will affect the youth, and all you need to do is be patient. And if you teach the youth, it will flower one day into politics, into religion, into morality. So the real question is, with education, where do we send our kids? Do we send them to schools that are more likely to inculcate secular humanistic ideas? Or do we send our kids to places that are more likely to teach Christian ideals? That's the question for the parents of today, and you'll see the difference in the students that come out from each of these systems of thought.